So, year 10, patch notes. They just started the live. Fuck doing the live. I'm gonna go over the patch notes. Because that's what I care about. About 4 hours ago, lie. It just got up here. Surtur. I'm going to look over the Surtur stuff after. Probably when they show him on here. So we will see. But let's just read it. Surtur is the passive. Surtur flesh cracks into enemies after he loses enough health. His percentage, max, whatever, blah blah blah. So he just does a little bit of a heal and a little bit more protection as the lower he gets. Actually a pretty cool passive, especially for a warrior. So it seems like that's going to be really good for boxing. I like that. There's one. It says Sword of Blaze. Gaining haste every single fucking time. We put haste on a god, especially a warrior, it does not end well. But maybe it's gonna be different. Maybe it's gonna be different. There's a reason why it's gotten taken off of every fucking god in the game. But we will see. Hopefully it's not like Fatalist fucking insaneness. Maybe it's just like Atalantis bow haste. I don't know. Probably not. Sudden's basic attack with bonus damage. Igniting the target, dealing damage over time, spawning a fiery imp. Okay. So it's like, is it just one hit? Or is it like hits? Oh, every 3 seconds. That's the tick damage. So just haste for one auto attack, it looks like. Or while the buff is active. And the imp's lifetime is 10 seconds. How long is it active for? Until he hits somebody, or does it have like a cooldown and then after it goes away? I don't know. We will see. We will see. As I said, probably when they show it on here. They're showing what the map looks like right now. What the fuck is going on here? What the fuck is this? I have it muted, but that shit is horrifying. Alright, either way, back to this. Giant's Grasp. Surtur pulls target close to him, so a pull. Cool. Either an enemy with fire and or magma rocks. They're in range. You can grab magma rocks. What? Maybe we'll get to that. Maybe that's like his ult. Surtur then hurls the object forward. Oh my god, he grabs somebody and beats them? That's fucking awesome. So it's like Kumbhakarna 1, but like mixed with fucking like Sylvanas pool. He just like grabs somebody and just goes yeet. That's just his 2. That's actually really funny. Maybe that's funny. Yeah, you can do it with a god, it looks like. That's really funny. Shit, I'll take somebody to throw him into the fucking tower. I'm hoping you could fucking throw a god. Because that would be so whack if you couldn't. Alright, either way. Third ability. Surtur creates a ring around him, movement speed increases, blah blah blah. So he's active, deals. Okay, so it's like an AoE. AoE around him while it's active, like Pele. And then he can activate it twice. So it's literally just Pele 3. It's the exact same ability. Okay. I mean, fine, I guess. I mean, like, I was hoping something a little cooler, but that's fine. It's literally just the way this ability is read out, it just sounds like it's just Pele 3. But again, I haven't seen what the ability is, so it might not be, but that's just what it seems like. And then his ult. I think we've seen a clip of this at Worlds. Yeah, he does the large meteor when he comes in. And then this breaks off the meteors, spawning more fiery imps. Okay, and then this is where the meteors sit. I guess the meteors just kind of sit on the ground. The meteorites sit on the ground for a little bit. That he could like grab with his 2 and eat. That's cool. So his ult and his 1 spawn imps, which I'm assuming they probably still scale with the 1. It's interesting to see how he'll play, because he's a warrior. So he's probably designed to be like a solo laner. I would assume that you would probably have jungle options as well, and maybe support options, considering the fact that he has a pretty big CC right here. But we will see. Either way, skins. These are just asserter recolors. Not bad. Not bad. Ain't mad at it. I do like the direction that a lot of the art has gone. This looks like Colossus, but Herc already has a Colossus skin. But this is cool. I think it makes sense for him to be like a big metal giant. This just looks like another one of New Lost skins, but it is what it is. Pele, I'm gonna be honest, I thought that was Apollo. Yeah, what the fuck is that? That shit looks weird. Oh my god, you can actually be Dayton. They put Dayton in the game. As Bacchus? Funny. Okay, this is just, I don't know what this is. Maybe this is, oh, this is the Magic the Gathering stuff. Oh. Oh, shit, I didn't even read that. I know nothing about Magic the Gathering. I don't play that card game. That shit is too hard for me. I tried. My brain don't work. Okay, Magic the Gathering stuff. I know nothing about these characters, but they look cool. This thing looks fucking horrifying. This Arachne skin looks really cool. I wonder how it's gonna look in game. I've seen what this looks like. I do not like this at all. I don't know why. There's something about this I just don't like. And then Berserker Bow Rama looks cool. This is fine. This kind of looks like another one of his skins. Wani doesn't have very many skins. I kind of wish there was more cool Wani skins. Either way, crossover event, yeah. I don't really care about knowing this stuff with a crossover event because I'm not worried about it, honestly. Me personally. I don't know anything about Magic the Gathering at all, so I can really care less. You'll get all the following voice back as it releases. Oh, with the pass. Yeah, that's just the pass stuff. We already know about that. New battle pass, boss monsters. This gets all of these skins. Those are the ones at the bottom. Okay. Quality of life. New season structure. Okay. Player level cap has been increased from 160 to 2,000? What the fuck? Players who have already reached 160 may not have not lost any access to spirits will automatically. Okay, so some people who have been 160 for a long time are gonna shoot up to a very high level. I don't even think I'm 160. I might be. It takes a long time and a lot of playing to get there. Why? Like, what's the purpose? Or is there gonna be some type of progression? Like, are we gonna get stuff? Probably not, because it maxed out at 30, at level 30. But I don't know. That's a small thing. It's just something that, like, I don't know why. It's weird. Gonna change the gear points. Blah blah. Kind of okay. All right, just normal stuff. Bug fixes. That's a lot. Game modes. Year 10 conquest map. We're going through the map. My thing is all blurry. It's not blurry anymore. We got little shields. I really like the design of this map. Just from the little bit that we've seen. Like, it looks really fucking good. Like, this shit looks really good. Like, it's big. Solo lane looks relatively small, which it should be. I don't know what this buff is. And it's a lot more condensed. Like, a couple years ago, it used to be really condensed, like, season, like, 0, 1, 2, like, 3, and 4. Well, even when they switched it from, like, 2 to 3, it was still very condensed. and then they opened it out more from the seasons after that, and now it looks like they're condensing it again, which I like, but we will see. I think this little mid entrance thing over here is a little odd. I don't know if you see where my mouse is, but this is a little weird. I'm just letting this play while I talk. I don't know. I mean, I like the way that it looks. I think it looks really cool. What the fuck is that thing? I don't know. They're talking about things. We'll get to it. I'm just look at. Oh, it's like the totem. Oh, it's literally just like another totem. I'm assuming they have a buff on that. Either way, let's get back to this. This is just like the conquest. Alright, here we go. New objective. New fire giant. So because it's not Surtur, it's just an actual fire giant. The same attacks, but it's a new arena. Yeah, I saw the new arena. If we go back, it's a full 360 thing. I like this better. It's like that with the gold period. I kind of wish they did this a long time ago. It's a small change that I feel like is definitely needed. Massive entrance display outside before it spawns. Okay. And then it's a little harder to kill, and it takes less crit. So it's the same fire giant. That kind of sucks. I'm gonna be honest. I was excited for, like, a new fire giant. This is not, like, it's not really that new, but I do like how it's a different battlefield, how you could walk fully around it in a circle, which also means it's gonna be a lot harder to steal, because there's no real way to kind of sneak behind and, like, raw ult it from behind, or dog ult it from behind, or do, like, the part from, like, the little area on the side, you know what I mean? Now, you kind of have to be in the open to try and steal it, which I think is a little better. We'll see how it actually fights. It has all the same moves, but I hope that the fighting is a little different. And especially, it's weird because now it's in a full circle fight. I feel like there was definitely ways to add more moves. They could have definitely add like a sweeping move that hits all around. They definitely could add more things. But we'll see. Maybe as the time goes on, maybe it's just a start. They added a bunch of things, so we'll see. Pyromancer, new boss, rewards the Runic Bomb. The Runic Bomb can be picked up like a jungle buff, only by someone from the team who has dealt the last hit to the Pyromancer. So whoever last hits it gets this Runic Bomb. The Runic Bomb fills up a consumable slot and can be placed later. Okay. So it's just a mine that you put on the floor. Okay. Structures hit by rune bombs are also debuffed with a 35% attack speed reduction for 10 seconds. And this item can be sold for 33. Okay, I like that you can sell it for really cheap, because that way you can't just get it and sell it for like a big item. I do wish it was like just 50 gold flat. I think that would just make it more sense. But this is a really cool thing. Obelisk. I forgot what the mega camp was. Enhanced buff and trebuchets are removed. No, not the trench bucket. I like the trench bucket. So, oh man, it's just the Runic Bomb. Runic Bomb, Runic Bomb. There's just something about it where it just... I really like this concept a lot, but because it takes a consumable slot, if you have consumable slots in your thing, like, it just completely probably negates them and takes it away, which is a little whack. But this is really strong for towers and minions, like structures and stuff like that, so this could be really good for backdooring. Like, this could be really massive for teams that are behind. Like, I'm just thinking about it. If you're behind and you get this, you can sneak a Phoenix to kind of get some pressure. But at the same time, it's also really fucking bad if you're ahead. Like, or really bad if the enemy team's ahead, because then they can just walk in and destroy a fucking Phoenix. That's crazy. But we'll see. I think that's really cool. It's a cool way to do things. We'll see how it goes. These are the tower shields. While they're alive, the tower gets more mitigations. So 30 when they're both alive. So you pretty much want to kill these first, and then get the tower. Okay. Basic attack and orbit. So they're probably not going to be that hard to kill. They spawn at the end of the setup phase. Okay, so they don't spawn as soon as the game starts. They spawn when this timer goes to start at 1 again and goes back. Okay, I don't see why that really matters. 50 gold, allies in the area. That's actually really good. 75 gold reward, 1200 health, and then a good amount of protections. Probably not going to be too hard to kill overall. They're not going to be that difficult to deal with. I think this will stop people from tower diving early game, or it's a way for certain people to kind of use something else as a body block. Because let's be honest, these being down is not going to be that big of a deal. So these are going to be much more of used to bait to not get hit yourself. I think that's the most important thing for these. And I wonder if it works as a god. Like a wall. Will it eat damage? Like I'm assuming it takes damage, right? But does it count as like a wall? Where if like Hu Yi were to shoot his one off it, will it bounce? Or will it be like just take the hit and it would still go through it? So we'll see it when it does. When they do the things. Again, they might have already done it on here, but as I said, I'm not looking at that shit. Kind of just going through this. Totem is simply now is the totem. I mean, nobody ever called it Totem of Ku. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even know it was called Totem of Ku. I just called it Totem. Has been remodeled, and we saw where it was. It's right here, which is cool. And wow, they're dragging multiple camps. That's fucking wild. I didn't know you could do that. Okay. Has an aura around it. While active, the objective now has an aura around it that grants a 10% damage increase dealt to minions and other gods. The totem no longer applies an instant global stack of its buff and reward when the totem is clean. Instead, a single stack is applied to nearby teammates. To the totem, the moment is claimed. Okay. The buff will remain under all. Okay. So it's the same thing. Okay, so it's the same thing. It still does the towers. So you can still walk into the tower line and get the buff. But the buff instead only goes to people around it. So pretty much only to whoever claims it. It doesn't instantly go to everyone around. That's weird. That's like a weird little thing to get rid of. Because I don't feel like that was huge. The only thing I felt like it was really big with was like getting it so you had like a little burst of MP5 for teammates who were struggling on mana. But this is cool. I think it's a little different thing. The increased damage while it's activated. So I'm assuming that happens for both. Like whoever's, like both teams, whoever's around it. But I don't know. It's the same thing. So it doesn't really have much of a difference. Probably lasts till about 15 minutes like it always has. Nothing too different about it. It's like a full talk like they've done so much, but they didn't. All they did was remove the global thing with the same passive just to one person, the people around it, and then made it so it has an increase of damage when people are near it while it's active. Like you could use this as in you kill the minions. Like I could see this. You kill the minions in lane while this is active, while the enemy is back or not there. Then your minions push up, you get the totem, so it takes them a longer time to kill the minions. That's like the best kind of use I could see it for like this passive, the increased damage passive. But overall, that's like the only change that this has. It's fine though. Not mad about it. It's okay. Tier 1 tower, decreased health, probably because of the bastions. The same thing, probably because of the bastions. And were the bastions on the phoenixes? Well, if this unblurs. Okay. It doesn't look like it, but it's only showing the first. It's only on the first ones. So maybe they have to go after. Ooh, what the fuck? Clicked the wrong one. Clicked my YouTube instead. Alright. The jungle camps is the one where they can follow you. Jungle camps now spawn near enemy cannot be damaged from the outside. Jungle camps spawn on your side of the map. So you can only lure them from your side, not all of them. Feels weird. They can also be pulled at their leaders. Yeah, we know. They will chase gods. It goes for 10 seconds. So they only chase for 10 seconds, so it's not like forever. No. I mean, minions not supposed to chase you halfway through the fucking jungle, but they still do, so we'll see how that works. After 10 seconds, they will attempt to flee, but can be re-engaged by dealing any damage. Each subsequent engagement will chase them for less time, okay? Lane minions will ignore unleashed jungle camps and vice versa, okay? Towers can attack unleashed jungle camps, but a gold loss penalty will be applied. Okay. But you still get the buff. Okay, honestly, you still get the buff though. That's kind of important. Because if you still get the buff even though you lose a little bit of gold, look, I'm down to lose a little bit of gold. If I can group all these minions at one time, bring them into the tower to kill them a little faster. Just so I can get my buffs a little quicker and then like go. If it is quicker, depending on like who you are as a jungle, like if you're playing jungle, to kind of like rotate around a little faster, or if you're really low on health and you know you can't kill it, but like you just bring it into the tower so that way no one else steals it, it could be really important. That's actually really huge. But it is good that there's a loss penalty, so that way people just don't train them all into a tower. Enemy jungle camps do not regenerate health when fleeing. Instead they have 10 HP 5. Okay, so they regenerate health really slowly. Camp timers will linger on the ground until the next camp spawns on location. If unleashed, they will drop at that location. The monster was killed and remain for 30 seconds before being relocated to the camp spawn point. Let's pick up. Okay, so it's like the same concept, just a little bit better for how the buffs work. Okay. Stacking buffs. The silver buff. Is that what that was? Is that what this is over here? The silver buff? It always fucking is blurry because I keep switching pages. That's what this is? The silver buff? I would assume. Yeah, solo scorpion side. Okay, but either way, these neutral camps are new objectives found on the outline of the early game. Okay, so the duo side is the scorpion, and this is a gold buff. Grants a shield equal to 50 health plus 20 per level. Okay, and grants 5 protections plus 1 per level. Not bad. And then the other one is a 5% cooldown. So, okay, so these you can stack, because it's a stacking buff. These neutral camps are new objectives in the outer lanes of the game. These cannot be unleashed, and the buff will stack with any other jungle buff. So you can pick up this and blue buff. Blue buff already has 10% cooldown on it. And in solo lane, if you hit the silver buff and the blue buff, you're having 15% cooldown per level, but it's also 75%. Oh my god, what the fuck? So, you probably get this around level 5. So at that point, you already have 20% cooldown. Like, if you're getting this, like, past level, like, 6, and you have the blue buff on top of you, you're getting 20% cooldown. Just off buffs. That's fucking broken. That's stupid. Holy shit, that's insane. Oh my god, that's so dumb. Like, that's so strong. This also means at level 20... At level 20, this is like... You just get max cooldown off this, right? I'm bad at math. I'm bad at math. But this is literally just full cooldown at level 20, right? So you can build like a no cooldown build, get this shit, and then just go buck wild. That seems wild for like mages that built full burst and not cooldown. Roaming harpy camps. Roaming camps. So roaming harpies will spawn every 60 seconds from dead harpy camps. Up to a maximum of 2 roaming harpies per camp and be alive at a time. Okay, so they just kind of walk around the map. That's cool. They have set paths. Cool. That's perfectly fine. Cyclops Rogue at the start of the match. Rogue stash will spawn near a random jungle camp. Spawn locations are always symmetric between both teams. Okay, that's good, so no team has a better chance. Opening the stash for 25 gold also with the Cyclops. So 50. And so 50 gold when you kill them both. We'll drop an aura buff. So the aspect of the road aura buff is... What the fuck? What the fuck? 20 fucking percent movement speed? Okay. Every third set of the stashes that are trapped, a Cyclops will spawn. Upon opening, will the rogue 75 gold when slain. Same buff. After all stashes have been open, a new set will spawn after 3 minutes. Okay, so it's the same thing as like a normal camp. It just has like a different type of stuff to it. But like the fact that 20% movement speed is insane. And there's still a speed buff right here. So if you're a jungle and you pick up the stash, that's so fucking... Oh my god, that's insane. That's so crazy to me. And there's 2 speed buffs on both sides. There's 4 speed buffs. The jungle should always have a speed buff on them at all times. What the fuck is happening? Okay, I'm just fucking lost. What the hell is happening? This shit is insane. Hello, baby. That's fucking crazy. 20% movement speed? That's so stupid. Oh my god. Okay. These are also present on pretty much every other map in the game. Any other map that matters. No, actually, that's a lie. Who the fuck plays Slash? Nobody. Mid-Harpy camps have been removed. The camp has been oracles instead. I saw that. And the pyromancer. Okay. Purple buff. Remove the protection debuff. I didn't even know there was a protection debuff on the purple buff still. Am I tripping? Was that always up there? I don't remember. I thought it was just the attack speed now. So either way. Attack speed increased by 10. Magical base attack damage by 15. And physical by 12. Huh. So they giving you base power too? Like attack damage? Interesting. Okay, this buff now respond. Okay, yeah. I saw where they are. Unchanged. It's the same thing. Okay, it's the same thing. It says unchanged, so I already know what that does. Green buff. Oh, I see down here. The cooldown has been removed from the blue buff. Okay, so disregard everything I said earlier. Green buff. Yeah, close to the middle. Buff now has HP 5. Shoots minis. Different character models. Remove the ability to buff. To freeze the buff. Okay. I forgot that it had that type of like weird little freeze thing on the enhanced version. Let's see. Creates 100%, 100 health and mana. Okay. Additional 30 for every 50 protections you have. Also 10 HP 5. That's actually pretty fucking good. That's pretty good. Because on average when you're playing support, you're probably having like 150 protections on both. So if it counts for both protections, that means you're getting this 6 times. So that would be 160 more health. Plus the 100. So 260 more health. Actually pretty solid. I mean, that's how it's always been. And I really never noticed that. Okay, speed buff. Yeah, we noticed that there was 2. The buff does not stack with themselves or split, obviously. Why is there speed buff, yellow buff? What? Like 2 different ones? What the hell? Okay, remove the crowd control from this buff. Okay, that's fine. And then the speed is 14 instead of 18. So the movement speed is faster, and then on top of the fact you have the Cyclopses that give you 20%. Then when you kill the Cyclopses, you also get an extra 2%. I hate it here, bro. This is crazy. Jungles are about to go fucking stupid. I mean, there's a lot more shit to do in the jungle, so maybe that's why they're able to move around faster, but I feel like ganking is gonna be so annoying. Blue buff now has 3 monsters instead of the 1. Fine. Remove the cooldown. Good. And then just the normal blue buff. Each time you hit an enemy guide, you gain 2% of your missing mana. That's actually cool. Like that. I don't know if it's been like that. I don't think it has. But yeah. Only 4 mana per second. That seems so shit. Okay, these are the buff spawns. They all spawn at 0. Okay. The harpies spawn at 0. Buff cans spawn at 0. Constable camps. It's the mid harpies and the stacking. They spawn at 130. Oracle spawn at 10. What the fuck? Oracle spawns at 10. Why does that feel like wrong? That sounds so stupid. Okay. After 10. When the duo side minion harpies are okay. Whatever. Pyromancer spawn at 10 when the solo mid harpies are clear. Alright, I see what it is, because they want to kill... Alright, come on. Stop doing this stupid shit. Okay. So... I guess there's mid-harpies that spawn here on both sides. And then you gotta clear them, or is this considered the mid-harpies? You gotta clear these and then these spawn. But they can only do that after 10 seconds. Or 10 minutes, that's fine. That spawns at 5 like it's always been. This spawns at 10 like it's always been. It's the same thing. They just reduce it 4 minutes, 4 minutes, 4 minutes, 2 minutes. Instead of 2 minutes is 1.5. 1 minute to 4 minutes. And then the buff camps instead of 2 minutes is 2.5. You can't instantly pick up your buff as soon as it goes away. You have to wait like another 30 seconds. Back how it was like season 2. That's fine. Increase time during the setup from 80 seconds to 110, so a little bit more. Hand of the Gods has been removed. Why? Back doors no longer apply Invader's Curse to enemies. And increased fountain speed. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, Chief. Removing Hand of the Gods is so dumb. Because Hog is fun. And nobody's complained about Hog. Also, Invader's Curse. This map is fucking huge now. We don't need to have Invader's Curse no more. Let us invade. And this is fine. Ranks. All ranked modes will undergo hard reset. Okay. All ranked modes will now be full crossplay. Fuck yes. Now people can't just cheat. God leaderboard. Oh, but people are still gonna cheat. But now I'll actually be able to fucking shit on people that aren't just controller nerds. Top players, master border, blah blah blah. What? Top players 1 through 10 or the master border. Players 11 through 40 or diamond border. Players 41 through 100 or platinum border. All players who have played at least 10 ranked matches with a single god. Oh, this is the god thing. It's the god leaderboard. Alright, I didn't read that was the god leaderboard. I don't even... The way that god leaderboard shit works is so dumb. Rank quest. Who cares? Normal modes. They have the multi-queue thing, non-time. Ranked will remain timed. Back to how they used to be, I guess. Queues will no longer have a specific duration to show players. Take as much time as they need to find. Okay, so that's exactly how it used to be. You just queue up and wait for a game. Could take like 30 seconds, could take like 40 minutes. Players will now receive a deserter penalty if they fail to accept a queue pop for normal modes. I'm gonna be honest, I don't like that. Because if you just like start a match and walk away and then like pop a queue and walk away and the queue pops while you're not looking at your TV screen and then you get a deserter, that's kind of shitty. But it is what it is, I guess. Okay, whatever, fuck the rest of these things. Let's get down to the fun part. Oh my god, this bar is so tiny. Okay, these are the relic shards. 3 at level 1, and they can be upgraded. So it's like the normal shards. Like the ward one. Non-ability cooldowns are reduced over 0.5 seconds. The next 3 seconds. Interesting. Has its uses. You gain power and lifesteal for the next 3 seconds. Okay. Gain movement speed for the next 3 seconds. Okay. And your next basic attack steals protections for 3 seconds. And then the normal ward. Holy shit. That's actually pretty fucking cool. It's a lot. I didn't... The attack speed is increased by 40% for the next 3 seconds. This is insane. So you're telling me at level 1, as an ADC, I can go into lane, depending on however the stars are going to be, I can go into lane, give me 15% more movement speed, and 40% attack speed for 3 seconds, and just clear lane, like, instantly. That seems fucking ridiculous. Same with the mage, you just do that with the lifesteal. This shit seems like it's ass compared to these two. What the fuck? Okay. Player builds. Change player builds across each role. Change via passive. Hybrid items causing problems for more constrained builds. These are like what they planned on trying to do. Actual passives for anti-heal items. Okay. Reworking current items that have a clear theme. Okay. That seems fine. It seems fine. Removed item trees. The Imperial Helmet tree. The Enchanted Buckler tree. And the Shuriken tree. What the fuck was the Enchanted Buckler tree? Oh, that had like, Ansile and Runic Shield, I think. And this was the one with all the helmets. And that was the crit one. Okay. Cool. In general, item trees will now aim to have specific stats related to the tree. Items, stats, and blah blah blah, other trees. Okay, cool. So these are just the different trees that you can go into. Not really gonna do all that because it's all pretty much the same. Mace, Katana, Morningstar, Light, Gauntlet, Hidden Dagger, Short Bow, and Cudgel. Yeah, they're all the same. They just got rid of some other ones. I'm not gonna go through all that. These are the items that were removed. Celestial Legion Helm, Jade Emperor's Helm, Tyrannical Plate Helm, Shifter's Void, Runic Shield, Ansil, Void Stone, Stone of Foul, Ring of Akate, Book of the Dead? No! Stone Cutting Sword, Blackthorn's Hammer, what the fuck? Sledge, Bulwark of Hope, Hide of Urchin, Witchblade, Hide of the Nemean Lion, Blue Bow, and Shadow Steel Shuriken. Holy shit. That's a lot of items. Celestial Legion Helm was useless. No one ever really used that most of the time. Jade Emperor was only really good on healers, but it still had its uses. Sad to see that go. Hopefully there's still something of that type of passive in the game, just on a different item. Tyrannical Plate Helm was a not very used item. Shifted Shield was either broken or shit. Void Shield and Void Stone were broken a long time ago and became useless. Runic Shield just didn't feel like it was good. Ansel was pretty fucking good. Stone of Foul sucked. Ring of Akate was fun, and I'm sad that it goes. Book of the Dead was one of the most fun items in the game, and was just goofy and stupid. It was fun. Stone Cutting Sword had its uses, but was good. Blackthorn Hammer was really good for assassin supports, which makes me really sad that it's leaving. They literally just updated and buffed Sledge for them just to remove it the next patch. That's insane. Bulwark of Hope was really good, but no one ever used it. Tide of Urchin was okay. Witchblade, I just felt like Witchblade sucked. Hidden Demon Lion had its uses. Blue Bow was good sometimes, and sometimes it was shit. And Shadow Steel, having an anti-heal and a crit felt really nice, with pretty solid stats. And they're getting rid of it completely. That's crazy. Holy shit. Okay, either way, hybrid item reworks. Druid Stone rework. This is the tier 1 of the Void Stones and stuff like that. So this has both Froths plus 50 health. Okay, cool. 600 gold. Not bad. Sage Stone rework. 25 of each Froth plus 100 health. 1400 gold. Perfectly fine. It's tier 1 and tier 2 item. They don't gotta be strong. Stone of Binding, they turned it into a now tier 3 item with 40/40, 250 health, and the same passive, just better. I like Stone of Binding, and I really like the way this built into the early game, and then you could sell it later. We'll see how well this works into the later games, but overall I think this is fine. Okay, Round Shield. 5 protection, 5 HP, 5. This shit still sucks. Like, it's one of the worst fucking tier 1s. Tower Shield, still, again, one of the worst fucking tier 1s. Like, this shit is ass. I don't know why it's so weak. But what they built into are really good. So either way, this is fine. Okay, Berserker Shield. It looks like it's the same thing. Basic protection, health, attack speed. While below, you become berserk. Is it not just the same thing, or is this changed? Are like the base stats different? Because they look the same to me. Berserkers, or gladiators. 50, 100 health, 25 HP 5, and then 10% cooldown. It's the same passive. You know, enemy god, you get protection, same ability. Yeah. It's literally the same 2 items. What? No long. Wait. There would be no tier that provide power and protection. Okay, I see. So it doesn't have power anymore. I think they had power before. So they got rid of like the hybrid stuff. Okay. I guess. It's fine. Frostbound Hammer. The stats seem pretty good on it. 30 power, 350 health, 20 HP 5, 20 MP 5, or 50 MP 5 is pretty good. Your next basic attack now creates a shockwave of frost. Where's my Frostbound Hammer? They made it better, and now I'm sad. Because I like Frostbound Hammer. This is actually a better passive, though. It creates an AoE hit upon, around you. This is really good for team fights, instead of just sticking on one person. But just being able to stick on one person was really funny and toxic. And this comes up every 10 seconds, so it doesn't take too long. I think this is fine. I think we'll have good use for it. But I think it's going to take time for people to get used to it. Rune Forged Hammer. Stats still seem pretty good. Your next successful hard CC on an enemy god creates the runic symbol. On the ground for the last 5 seconds, enemies take 10% more damage while in this symbol. Okay. So it pretty much creates a little hex on the ground. People take more damage. So you can't build this on people who don't have hard CC. So that means, like, set. If you build this on set, you're just fucking trolling. Because you'll never proc it. Because it doesn't have hard CC. I mean, I guess it's fine. Because the other passive was based on how much CC your team had, or if you could do CC to do more damage to them while they're CC'd. But this one is just, I mean, it's fine. It's more or less you have to know what the hell characters to build it on. And if you don't know that much, you're gonna build this item and then be like, what the fuck, it's not working. So, I think it seems fine. I think this is still gonna be a good item, especially for team fights. In like, in lane 1v1 fights, it probably won't matter. But in team fights, it would do pretty well. Okay. Gladius's club. Why the fuck did they give it a... What happened to the shield? Was the shield not good enough? Move to the cudgel tree. Building off a heavy hammer. Okay, because we got rid of a lot of the cudgels. We got rid of... Not a lot. We got rid of sledge and... Was it on Blackthorn's hammer? We need to add another cudgel. Okay, so Gladius is... Or Cadius is whatever the fuck. I don't know how to say this goddamn word. 30 power, 250 shield, and then mana, and then passive unchanged. Okay. Fine. I have no issues. All anti-heal items will now gain an additional passive. Good. I mean, even though I don't think anti-heal items needed an additional passive, the fact of having anti-heal alone was super important. Because half the fucking player base doesn't build it, doesn't mean that they need to be buffed. It means that half of us are just stupid. Cost increase. New passive. Okay, same thing. Your next successful damaging ability that triggers an enemy. Chain of lightning. Up to 4 targets. So it's Thor's passive on his ult with an ability. Or just easier way to explain it. Zeus is 1 on every ability in the game, every 20 seconds. Okay. That, like... Okay. I'm making this more expensive because it has an additional passive. Getting a kill or an assist on an enemy god creates a field that provides allies with 10 power plus 2 per level. That's interesting. It's only on a kill or an assist. I like this passive way better than the other one. Because this one doesn't seem like it's that great, but it doesn't need to be that great because the anti-heal is already really good. Just getting a small little initial buff is fine. This one up here seems way too fucking strong. On top of the anti-heal. This itself could have been its own ability on another item. Toxic Blade. Where does the new one start? Reduce attack speed while you gain 5% attack speed. Okay, so it's a little bit of like Blue Bow without the damage decrease. That's actually, that makes a lot of sense. This one actually fits. I like this one. This one fits. They also nerfed it. Instead of 30 attack speed, you get 15. Holy shit, that is dog shit. And they decreased... Holy shit, why did they nerf this so bad? Why? I mean, you could have brought it to like 20, and you could have kept the 10. But like, dang, this isn't giving no power. Oof. That... Damn. That sucks. Does not stack with similar auras. Yeah. Okay. Enemies that successfully damage you have their healing reduced by an additional 5%, stacking up to 6 times? Holy shit, that's crazy. That's actually insane. Damn, I mean, I always build Pestilence over Contagion anyway, most of the time. Why would I ever? I don't even have to read this. Why the fuck do I ever want to build Contagion? That's insane. Well, let's see. Let's see if the Contagion one's any better. And also, they increase the cost by 250. This is the same, but just by 200. Okay, when you are hit by a hard crowd control, the enemy receives an aura that deals 40% 40 magical damage per second to them and other enemies within 25 units for 5 seconds. Oh, so this is more of an aggressive one. If you get hit with the hard CC, you deal more damage to the... that's interesting. I still think this one is better for more anti-heal heavy teams. So like if you're going against like an Aphrodite, like you're building Pestilence. If you don't build Pestilence against an Aphrodite, you're trolling. Like, holy shit, because this is strong. But this seems really good for teams with light CC. Or not light CC, light healing with like hard CC. They're actually both really good passives for own specific reasons. Holy shit. So far I'm liking a lot of this. I think nerfing this was a little weird, but it does have a pretty stronger passive. And I think this is too strong. But other than that, everything else seems fine. Wingblade, when hit by slow, I saw this. It's one that goes to everybody instead of just you. Like everyone around you. I think this is just the same thing, just better. Which I love. Because Wingblade is a good item. It always has been. But you need to build it in specific scenarios. Now you can build it a lot more freely. Especially because the stats aren't changed. I'm happy they didn't change any of the stats for these. Oh my god, it's a new passive. Is it bad? For Gem of Isolation, enemies hit by your abilities will now move 30% slower for 2.5 seconds. This can only occur every 10 seconds. Alright, so it's better. Because it was so bad before it wasn't worth being built. Now, it doesn't matter if you have a stun on your ability. They're still moving really slow for a little bit seconds longer. Instead of stunning for, or slowing them for 0.5 fucking seconds that it was before, some stupid shit. This is better. I like this. And it comes up every 10 seconds, so that comes up really fast. Not bad at all. Especially considering how, like, cooldowns work with abilities. Not bad. Not bad. Spectral Armor. New passive. Why? You take 40% reduced bonus damage from crits. When you are hit by a critical strike, you and your allies within 55 units gain an additional 5%. Oh, so just better. Stacking up to 4 times. Lasting 8 seconds. Oh, it's literally the same passive, just better. Okay, that's fine. I'm not mad about that. Same thing. Alright. Demon Blade. So when Demon got taken away, move to the Hidden Dagger Tree. Renamed to Demon Blade. It is 240, 2,400 gold, 25 physical power, 20 attack speed, 20 crit chance, and the passive is the same. So the stats are pretty much the same too, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was 15 attack speed before, but I think the stats are pretty much the same. That's fine. Let's move to Hidden Dagger Tree. What's the Hidden Dagger Tree? Is that the one Windblade? Wingblade is in? The one this one's in? I think so. Okay. Weird, but okay. Breastplate of Regrowth. I did see this too. They changed Shield of Regrowth to be a physical protection. It's the same passive pretty much too. I think this is fine, but it kind of sucks how it's specifically a physical protection now. It being how it was before, how it just gave you like a bunch of health and stuff, felt better because you can build it against anybody. Now this is specifically like you have to build it against physicals. Where if you're going against like a magical, you're gonna have like more magicals. You can't really build this, even if the character you play does really well with it, like Hercules. Hercules is really good with Shield of Regrowth. Now, there's like Shield of Regrowth isn't really worth building in some scenarios. If you're going against like a Cthulhu in lane and you're Hercules, why the fuck would you build this item? It's just, I don't know. I just feel like it's weird to put it as just a physical. I think it was fine where it was. One of the items that didn't need to be changed at all. Lotus Sickle. This is Lotus Crown. Oh shit, they didn't get rid of Lotus Crown. They got rid of the other one. I thought they got rid of Lotus Crown. They got rid of Jade Emperor's Crown. That was the other one. I got that shit all mixed up. There's so many different fucking names of different items. The passive is still the same. Okay, so this is still in the game. The healing one is still in the game. That's good. This gives you movement speed though. 10% cooldown, physical protection, and health. And this is also on the Blade Tree. Move to the Ancient Blade Tree. Interesting. So this should still be able to be built on everybody in the game. Okay, 15, 15. Added cooldown. That's insane. They added 10% cooldown on fucking Magi's. And 15 protections. But they got rid of the health. I think that's just better. What the fuck? That's crazy. Okay. MP5 removed, just a flat mana. Weird. Same thing for the tier 2. Same thing for Hydras. Weird. That's a very specific change. For some, I don't know. That's weird. I guess because this tree is defined by having physical power and mana. Okay. Cyclopean Ring. Okay. What the fuck is this? What is this? Okay. It is 2,600 gold. 80 power. That's actually pretty good. 25 attack speed. That's pretty good. 10% cooldown reduction on a ring? Holy shit, that's kind of insane. Your next basic attack against an enemy god deals bonus magical damage equal to 8% of the target's maximum health. This effect can occur once every 10 seconds, reduced by 2 seconds upon each successful basic attack on an enemy god. Holy shit, that sounds crazy. Chronos, Soul, that's like on those two items, or those two gods, that's crazy. This doesn't matter much for Freya, other than just like the magical damage hit, but I don't think the passive would really matter all that much for Freya because her abilities come back so fast to begin with, so who really cares? But, wow, this seems, I kind of like this. It's replacing Ring of Hecate, which sucks, because Ring of Hecate was fun, because it was a ring with lifesteal that also gave, like, a damage debuff. But, I kind of like this, though. This feels good. It sounds good. Tablet of Destinies. 600, 2650, Jesus Christ, 2650 gold, 90 power, 150 health, 300 mana. Your next successful ability damage on enemy god, return a stack of wisdom. Each stacks of wisdom you have, your ability gains 0.08% of your max mana. As true damage, you may only gain one stack every 2 seconds, and you can only stack per enemy god's hit. Per god ability hit with 50 stacks. It's a stacking ability. This seems pretty strong. I don't feel like doing the math because I can't do percentile math in my head. But This does seem like it's really good, especially since they got rid of Book of the Dead. So you can't even build Book of the Dead with this, which seemed insane. But that seems fun. We will see. It says new core mage item designed to diversify mage builds. Yeah. Bladed Boomerang. It's a new crit item. Build off the hidden dagger tree. I think the hidden dagger tree is probably the crit tree with the Deathbringer and Rage. That would make more sense. 40 damage, 15 attack speed, 20% crit. Your next basic attack on an enemy god creates a deployable that, when picked up, provides you with 4% movement speed and 10% critical strike. This can now stack up to 3 times and only concur once every 2 seconds. This is an item that I have to see in action to get a thought on it. Because I have no clue what the fuck is being read to me. Let's just go back down. Shadow Drinker. This is off the Katana tree. Replacing Stone Cutting Sword, it probably. 50 power, 10 penetration, and 7 movement speed. Killing an enemy god drains their shadow, causing you to enter stealth for... Not stealth. And gain 30% movement speed for 3 seconds, taking damage, firing ability, or firing basic break stealth. Okay, so stealth will be easy to break, but stealth is stupid. I hate stealth in every game, in every multiplayer game. Being able to not be seen is so stupid, but it doesn't seem like it's that strong. It will probably be built on Loki, just so players can have another form of invisibility. But I don't think this would be that great. I think it would be really good to probably dive the backline to kill somebody, and then if you kill a backline, you go invisible, and then you just kind of dip out, so it's kind of hard to follow you. That's fine, but I don't think most assassins will be able to use this properly. Dawnbringer. That art looks really cool. In the Cudgel Tree. 40 physical power. 300 health. 20% CCR. When your ultimate has finished casting, your protections and movement speed are increased by 5%. For each enemy god within 55 units of you for the next 6 seconds, this can only happen once every 30 seconds. Okay, they definitely added the timer on this for King Arthur. And, like, King Arthur and Cuchulainn. Because literally no other character in the game would be able to ult fast enough. But this seems fine. It's pretty much the same passive from Sledge, but instead of it being damage, it's protection and movement speed. And with an ultimate associated with it. That was fine. That's fine. I don't think it's that good. I don't think this will be that great, but I could be proven wrong. Absolution. That's a cool fucking name for an item. This is in the Talisman tree. That's the one with Pestilence. Okay, yeah, that's the one with Pestilence in it. I had to think for a second. Magical protection, 60. 250 health. 10% crowd control reduction. When your ultimate ability is finished casting, you pulse out a cleansing aura within 50 units, providing all allies with CC immunity for 0.6 seconds. This is once every 40 seconds again. They put a cooldown on this just so fucking King Arthur and Cuchulainn can't just do this twice back to back. Or Claudna, which you can ult back to back too. But this is cool. This is fine. It's a cool little ult. Really weird. I don't know how well you could use it. But that's cool. That's all I have to say. It's cool. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. Build up the Druid Stone tree. 40 of procs. 300 health. Successfully damaging, or successful ability damage to an enemy god applies to a debuff, inflicts them with 20% negative CDR for 4 seconds. You can take away someone's cooldown reduction? I'd be pissed. That's toxic. That's funny. I like it. I'm not gonna like it when I get hit by it though. Wow, that's funny. That's a good item. That's a fun item. Archdruid Stone, or Archdruid Fury, not Stone. Too many fucking things to read. My brain is getting all puzzled. 30 of both procs, 300 health, 15 MP5. Gain a stack up to 6. Each time you take damage from an enemy god equal to 5% of your maximum health. Your next basic attack on an enemy god consumes all stacks and deals 30 damage of true damage. Can only occur once every 15 seconds. And I think all of the starter items have been the same so far. We haven't got to any starter items. So that means this with agitation or aggravation or whatever the fuck it's called, animosity, it's one of those fucking things. As a tank, you can hit very fucking hard. This, like, if you're gonna get at I think it's animosity, I think that's what it's called. If you're gonna get animosity, you should build this, because it's 35 of each procs plus 300 health, which adds more damage on animosity, and then you get even more damage on your auto attacks per health you take away from an enemy god every 15 seconds. That's fucking crazy, and it's true damage. That means it can't be mitigated. That means you're just doing a flat amount of damage to them. Whether it's 30 or 160, that's just a flat amount of damage unmitigated on top of your normal damage. That's insane. I don't even want to pronounce this word, because I don't... Phalanx? Sure? Phalanx? That's what I'm calling it. I don't fucking know. This is built off round shield tree. 55 physical protection, 150 health, 20 HP5, and 10 cooldown. CDR reduction. Not blah blah blah. CCR reduction. Jesus Christ. Crowd control. Not cooldown. Crowd control reduction. When you are basic attacked by an enemy god, friendly minions within 40 units, you gain a stack. Oh, this is fucking Tyrannical Plate Helm. Just, you gotta be attacked for it to proc. So it's like worse Tyrannical Plate Helm. What the fuck? Well, this item sucks. Tyrannical Plate Helm sucks. And they just made a worse version of Tyrannical Plate Helm. This item stinks. Continuing. In Cloak Tree, this is Cleric's Cloak. That's what it's built from. What the fuck is Cleric Cloak? What item is that? Okay. What the fuck? What the fuck? Is that even a word? Prophitic Cloak? I can't read. 25 of each prot, 150 health, 20% cooldown reduction. Every 10 seconds, when you deal damage, or once every 10 seconds, when you damage an enemy god with an attack, you gain 2 protections and an aura that corresponds with the damage of that type of target. Once you have reached 15 of both stacks, this item evolves, giving you mitigations of your total protections. Okay. Hold up. I know what that read, so I was gonna comprehend what it said. So pretty much that. Wait. So I'm getting like 15 mitigations for whatever I hit. That's actually kind of crazy. Because it depends on how much mitigations it gives you. It's not really giving you mitigations. It's just saying mitigations based on your total protection. So, okay, hold on, wait a second. Historically, in Smite, tanks have often struggled to remain tanky in longer matches. I'm just not gonna even comment on this dumbass statement. Clearly, there are some seasons that certain people have not played where tanks just ran rampant. Okay, either way. Based on your total protections, the mitigations will give you. So, wouldn't it be better to build this item last, or will it build on top of it? I don't know. It's supposed to be a competitor to Gauntlet of Thebes, which definitely seems like it. This is insane, and I have no clue how it's even going to work in the game. Because it seems like it's really easy to get stacks. Because once every 10 seconds after you deal damage. So you're gonna build that pretty fast. You only need to build 15 stacks. And then on top of it, you get 2 protections per stack depending on whoever you hit. So if I hit like Ao Kuang, I get 2 magical protection stacks. But I can also then hit like Hercules 10 seconds later and get 2 physical protection stacks. So it just depends on how you stack this. You have to kind of think, I guess, which is weird. And this is the evolved version. 55, 55, pretty good. And then the health and the CDR is the same. Allies within 70 units gain 30 magical and physical protections. Pretty solid aura. I think it's the same of Sovereignty. No, that's better than Sovereignty. Because I think Sovereignty is 25. And Heartward Amulet, I think, is also 25. I could be wrong, though. So that's just better than that after it's fully stacked. Gauntlet of Thebes, I think, gives you 30 as well, though. Or 35. So it pretty much matches with Thebes. Just giving you protections instead of health. Giving you protections instead of health. On top of that. So that's not bad. If you have over 400 total protections, you gain 10% damage mitigations. If you have over 600 protections, you gain an additional 10% of mitigations. First off, who the fuck is gonna have 600 total protections? That seems ridiculous. How is that even possible? Anyways, continuing. Cannoneers Kirkus? Cuirass? Sure, these are words that aren't real. 30 of procs, 300 health, 20 HP 5. Let's see. Passive. Your next successful basic attack on an enemy lane minion will cause it to explode. That's cool. killing it instantly, dealing 50 plus 5 per level magical protection to enemies in a small area, and providing a 25 gold bonus to your nearest ally. Can only appear once every 20 seconds. This is very interesting. I noticed up here how it says this is another support-oriented item. I can also see this also being built in Solo Lane. I will 1000% build this shit in Solo Lane. Like, I don't give a fuck. If I could just hit an enemy god or hit an enemy minion and it explodes every 20 seconds, that's literally each time a lane minion comes up, I can explode it. So this could be really good for shitty fucking clearing characters in Solo Lane. This could work in Solo Lane too. I mean, now, in support, this could be really fucking good. But we will see. I think this is interesting. This is really cool. It's different. Anything different is fun. Ooh, starter items. Okay, so they have done something with starter items. Both Mage Gem have been adopted by Solo Lane Guardians, so these are being adjusted to more specifically damage bonuses that will be provided for traditional mages. I butchered that entire sentence because I switched the words around, but it's fine. So, increased additional magical power scaling from 1 to 1.5. So you're making this stronger. And then you're also making Gemma Focus stronger. Or remove the mitigations. So how is this supposed to not have Solo Laners build this item? Because I'm gonna be honest, it's not gonna deter me from building this. Because this will still be built. If anything, you're making them do more damage. Like, I don't... Sure, I guess. Bluestone. Reworked passive? No. Enemies hit by damaging ability will take 60 physical damage over 2 seconds on subsequent hits. Do it on the same targets with do half the bonus damage for... Bro, what? This is just boring. That's a boring Bluestone. Where's my tick damage? I mean, it's still tick damage, but it's just like, it only does 60 damage? Why doesn't it scale no more? Boo. Boo. Unfun. Boo. Lame. Bluestone Brooch. It's the same thing, just 200. Boo. I don't like that. It's not fun. Corrupted Bluestone. 250 over 5 seconds. So 50 damage per second. That seems like stronger. And reducing their attack speed by 10%. I mean, let's be honest, this is all just the same thing. Just with, like, it's going to do this specific amount of damage. So I guess that's better. Instead of it being, like, mitigated. But, I don't know. But it doesn't stack, it only just refreshes. That's kind of whack, though. Subsequent hits on the same target do bonus damage. Each time you apply corruption, you gain 10% attack speed and 4% procs for 6 seconds, up to 5. Like, Corrupted Bluestone just seems so much better than Bluestone Brooch now. Because adding the protections and more attack speed just seems crazy. Warding Sigil. Fuck yeah, because I like this item, but it sucks. When you are hit by an ability, you gain a stack of dampening. Gaining 5 protections for 5 seconds. And healing for 1% of your max health. This occurs only once per ability cast. This can stack twice. So it's the same passive, but you get a little bit of healing out of it. Seems pretty fun. I kind of like that. That's cool. That's cool. Let's see. Sigil of the Old Guard. So the other one is staying the same, the shield one. This one is You gain 5 damage mitigations whenever you are hit by an ability. You gain a stacker rebuke, giving you 4% total mitigations, and 8 for 8 seconds, and healing of 3% of your max health. And this can be stacked up to 3 times. So the stats itself are the same, but they just added the healing aspect on top of it. I think that's good to make this feel better. Solid. Sundering Axe, they buffed it. I feel like this item always has been getting like adjusted so much because it's been strong and then weak and then strong and then weak. So they're buffing it a little bit. That's fine. 2%, not big of a deal. Minus 10 protections on both procs on Acts of Animosity. What? Reworked from Hero's Axe? Oh, we're getting rid of Hero's Axe? Oh, they're also getting rid of Animosity. What the fuck? Now the passive previously found on Animosity is on here. Aww. What the fuck? And okay, I mean, let's be honest. These make more sense to be switched. They're literally the same passive, just switching. It makes more sense. But I liked Animosity because it cooperated with the other item really well. Now I want to build that other item as I forgot even what the item was called as a solo laner and just hit people. Now this though, for a solo laner who's already gonna fucking hit pretty goddamn hard, her auto attack seems like even more broken. So I don't know if that's worse or better. And this is the same thing. Crowd control gives the shield. Yeah. Them switching is fine. It's the same passive, they're just on different items. War Flag. War Flag is a weird item. Let's see how they fixed it. Getting an assist for an enemy god, minion, or jungle monster. Dying will provide a 8 bonus gold. Restore 5 health and 5 mana. You and a nearby allied god will also receive a stack of 1 movement speed and 2 attack speed. That's the same. Stacking up to 10 times. You are not within 30 units of the allied god. For 20 seconds, the passive will be disabled until you're near an allied god again. Okay, so it's pretty much the same thing. They just added the bonus gold and I think the health. The 5/5 health and mana. But this part is the same. So it's a good little adjustment. I'm assuming they added the same amount of things to this. Yeah. The gold per 5. You have the lowest gold in your team. Yeah. And then the health and mana. So, fine. I still don't think War Flag and War Banner is like better than Sentinel's Boon and stuff like that, or Benevolence. Like, this item just isn't worth picking up a lot of the times. Maybe it will change, but I have no clue. Erendite. Erendite got a 10% buff on the passive. Cool. Out of like all those big changes, they're like, let's buff Erendite. Let's give it 10% more. This is just something that could have been on a normal patch notes. Something like, who cares? Okay. Aussie Shift. Decrease cost by 100 gold. Increase physical power to 25 to 50. Holy shit, that's huge. Increase physical lifesteal to 5%. Instead of 15, it's 20. That's pretty good. Decreased attack speed from 25 to 20, so decrease it by 5%. Honestly, considering that they buffed the power to 50 when it was 25, that's huge. Only nerfing it by 5% attack speed. It's still gaining a lot of damage. And then remove the pen. Alright, so there goes all the damage. They removed the pen completely. Increase the HP threshold on the passive from 35 to 50. Oh wow, so you get the passive a lot sooner. Okay, this is a big shift for this item. Not bad. I don't think this is a bad change at all. It's something different, and it's fine. Atalantis Bow. Now this item was bloated. Let's see what they did to it. Decreased cost from just by 100 gold. Right. Increase power to 10. Okay. Increase attack speed by 25% instead of 20. So by 5%. Remove the lifesteal, remove the crit. And the passive is still the same, and then you get some 10% physical penetration. That seems about right. This item was bloated. So, it being like specifically focused for damage and attack speed feels better than having it just be like everything. Bloodforge. Decreased by 150 gold and 2% movement speed. Just literally the smallest buff known to man. More of a buff than the Erendite. So funny. Okay, Crusher shift. What the fuck? Why are we changing Crusher? Oh my god. From 240? Or from 2,400 to 2,700? That's a 300 gold change. That's crazy. Now builds off Warrior's Bane. What? Why? Like, there's... why? Increase the power by 15. Increase the attack speed by 5%. Change the... oh, that's why. Changed it from flat pen to percent pen. And remove the flat physical damage on the passive. Increase the power scaling from 20 to 40 on the passive. Wow, that's pretty big. And passive now does 50% reduced damage on subsequent hits on the same target. That is a huge shift, but pretty fucking good. I see why they made it a lot more expensive. It's a luxury item. Definitely. It's pretty solid. Dominance. Remove the 10% physical penetration, added 15% attack speed. Increased penetration on basic attacks from 15% to 20% on the passive. That's good, because this item was not worth building because it didn't have any attack speed. So now it actually has attack speed, so hunters can build it. It was really hard to build on anybody, but it's kind of weird how this item has struggled to find any home in builds, so we'll make more of just appeal to the hunters, yeah. Because like it didn't work on anybody other than hunters, and hunters couldn't build it on their most of their kits. Unless you were like fucking like Karn and Bog. Okay. I love how this is like a nerf. Gauntlet be the nerf, it's 100 more gold. Not really much of a nerf. Emperor's Armor, 250 more gold, and increase the attack speed reduction by 10% on the passive. Pretty good, especially considering the new like conquest changes. That's pretty solid. Decreased cost by 100 on mail renewal, increased by 100 on the health, increase the HP 5 by 5, and then decrease the physical protection and magical protection by 10. It's like pretty much it's the same thing. I don't know, it's not really much. It's like a shift, but it doesn't really do much. Increased the protection on Midgardian by 10, perfectly fine, not that big of a change. I'm doing a lot of protection buffs. A lot of protection buffs. Decreased health from 50, or by 50 on Oni Hunters. And then the mitigations on the passive is increased by 1%. Instead of 3, it's 4. It's not bad at all. Rage buff. Increase the critical strike chance by 5%. Instead of 30, it will be 35. Not too bad. Decrease the critical strike strike chance per stack from 3% to 2.5. Not really much of a crit chance change. Still going to be more than it was before. And then adding power per stack, but decrease the stacks from 5 to 4. It's a little bit of a change. Gives it more power, especially since this item had really low power. I think it had like 25 power. It's actually a pretty good buff. This is really good for Mercury, because Mercury builds this item quite frequently. So yeah, this is a really good change to Rage. I like it. It's a good change. Good change to Rage. Decrease the cost of Ratatouille by 250. Wow. Silver Branch Bow. Increase the power by 10, and then decrease the pen by 10. Like a little bit of a shift, not really much of a change. Spear the Magus, change from 10 flat pen to 10% pen. Okay, I mean again, just a little bit of a shift, not much of a change. And then Bobble, decrease the cost by 150. Increase the power by 5 on physicals and by 10 on magicals. Interesting, not much of a difference. Class changes on gods. Alright, before I get to the gods, that was a big changes to a lot of items. Holy shit. There's a lot of stuff. I like how there's a little bit of a small things, something that not too much, wouldn't really matter too much, like Silver Branch, the Erendite, stuff like that. But overall, a lot of these seem fine. We'll mainly get into it when we start playing it. We will see then. Class changes. Let's move on to gods. Warriors. Warriors now. Oh, so now each class has a little internal passive. It's pretty cool. So warriors gain an additional 5 gain. Wait, what? Warriors gain bonus 5 CDR per level. And then scales from 5%, 1 through 10, and 10. So naturally warriors will have, what, 20% CDR? Naturally? Weird. But fine, I guess. I think that's how the math works. Okay. Assassins get a little more power. Okay. Mages get also a little more power. Guardians get a little more crowd control reduction. And hunters get an increased damage on auto attacks. Small changes. It's interesting. Probably won't amount to too much, but we will see. Base magical protections. Increased base on all classes. Okay, so that's everyone's like base health. Protections on magicals, they all are this amount now. And then increased. Okay. I'm not going over that because it's simple. Ishtar nerfs. Good. This character is strong. Decrease the bonus damage, especially considering the fact that she was picked almost 100% of the time in Worlds. I think she was picked 100% of the time in Worlds, actually. Increased bonus damage of her 1A by this amount. 4 at level 1, 3 at pit 2, 2 at pit 3, 1 at pit 4, and then none at pit 5. Small change, not too much of a difference, but a little bit better for the early game, which is weird because I definitely feel like the spread shot is still the strongest version of her. Blades of Retribution, her ult. The damage will do a little bit less when coming back. Pretty good. Lancelot nerfs. This character is too strong. He needs to be nerfed. Power scaling by 5% per hit. on his dash. Not really much of a nerf, but sure, go ahead. And then his ult has a pretty decent nerf. 30 off the top at level 5. 30, just 30 around the board it looks like. Yeah, just 30 base off his ult across each level. Perfectly fine. Thor ult. Decreased power scaling by 5%. The arc Thor gains from this ability. What? Decrease physical power scaling from 15 to 10% for each hit of the arc damage that Thor gains after landing. Oh, that's the chain lightning damage. Okay, that's fine. I was like, arc damage? What the fuck is that? Vulcan. 10% more of a nerf. 10% off his 1, and then the cooldown is increased. Wow. Something I never thought they would ever do in their life is increase the cooldown of this ability. Not bad. 1 second longer across the board. Perfectly fine. Achilles buff. Oof. Lane minions now take an extra 15% from his 1. Actually pretty solid. Make him be able to clear a little better. I like how it says lane minions and not just like minions in general, because then it could do the buffs. And then his 2 has a 1 second decrease. So instead of 10 seconds, it's 9. Okay, fine, I guess. Artemis buff. She can now have 4 traps. Oh my god, I've been saying this for fucking years. She needs more traps. Thank god, she has 1 more trap. And then her 3. God, her 3 is so bad. And it's being buffed, so which is good. So it does a little bit more damage. So 10 flat, and then 5 scaling. The one thing that still sucks about this ability is that it can't clear wave. It can't hit the full wave. You have to literally auto-attack the minions to have it hit the full wave, or you have to loop the minions and circle them to the point where it can hit it off. If you just let the minions walk up naturally and then try and hit your 3, you're either only hitting the back line or only hitting the front line. It's one of the biggest downfalls of this character, and they still have yet to fix it. This character has been out since the game has released. So 10 years of this character's third ability not being able to hit the full wave, and they still have yet to fucking fix it. Moving on. Bacchus. Chug. This ability now heals. What? What? Okay, I mean, now this ability actually has a use, instead of just fucking using it to keep your passive up. So, that's fine. I actually really enjoy that. Holy shit, I'm gonna start using Bacchus in fucking solo lane, and just healing. Oh wait, no, that means I actually have to put a pip in it, because it has 0 at level 1. So I have to upgrade it twice to actually get a heal out of it. Well, that's whack. That's fine, though. Belly flop. 14? At all? Oh my god. That's 2 seconds. At level 2. That's crazy. I fuck with this. These are good changes. This is cool. But I like it. Bacchusora buff. I need a Bacchusora kit change. Increased passive. Active cooldown. Whatever. Reduction on eating the minion. So 2 at all ranks now. I mean, I don't use Bacchusora, so I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how much it's gonna change. Okay. Increase the slow on a deplorable area on his ult. It's still the same at level 20 though. So overall, like, these Bacchusora buffs don't really matter. It only matters for people who play Bacchusora. And that shit is not me, so I don't know if they're good or not. Fenrir now provides 25% attack speed at all ranks with his 2. That's pretty fucking good. And then 3, the Brutalize. gains protections from 2, 2, 2, 2 per level instead of 1.5. Not much of a change, but at level 20 he gains 40 protections. Max. So, I mean, that's a little better. Not much of a change. This one's really good though, the auto attack. Especially being able to build his passive a little bit faster, and being able to box a little bit easier. It'll allow him to be able to clear lane a little bit easier without using his 3 or his 1. It's a pretty solid buff to Fenrir. I don't mind it. Hachiman, they're buffing the 2 instead of just re-kitting the 1 because the 1 is the worst ability to ever exist in Smite. Increase the base damage by 10. And then, okay, so the same thing they did to Artemis. Fine. It's good. And it's not a bad change. Makes him a little bit stronger, but fine. Hell! Can you stop doing that? Thank you. Hell. On Hinder and on Cleanse, I guess. Hinder now applies 10% magical protection reduction. I'm reading too many things. In addition to the flat protection. I mean, this character fucking sucks. There's no reason you should ever pick Hell. It's just these are re-kit. This doesn't matter. Hercules. Making his 1 do more damage? Bro, why? This character already hits like a fucking truck. You wanna hit like a train instead? That's insane. That's 3 mitigated wounds. 25 attack. Okay, just because you did it to Fenrir does not mean you had to do it to fucking Hercules. Especially decreasing the cooldown by 2 seconds. Oh my god. Why? 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 These are changes that didn't need to exist. Like, if you were gonna buff Hercules, you could have buffed Hercules in a different way. Not by making his 1 do more damage. And not by making his fucking 3 come up even faster, on top of the fact he gets 25% attack speed. That's crazy. The way you should have buffed him here is to do something with his 2, or make his CC a little bit stronger. His damage and his healing is fine. You need to buff his damage and his healing even more. Jesus Christ. Somersault, Hunbass. So this is his 1. The damage is increased by 15 per level, it looks like. Not bad. And the slow is increased in the early game, but it's the same in the late game. Or whenever you max this item. Or max his ability. So, not bad. This is a fine buff. I think this is pretty solid. Especially considering this ability does like no damage pretty early on, so making it do a little bit more damage kind of early kind of helps. King Arthur buff. Why? Like, him not being in the meta was the happiest fucking thing to ever happen. And because he wasn't in one meta, now we gotta bring him back. I fucking hate this game. God damn it. Increased his 1 by 10 per damage. Lovely. 10 per level. Increases 2 by 15 per level. Holy shit. And then increases 3 debuff by 3%. I'm just gonna keep my opinions to myself. The Kappa on Kuzenbo, his 1 increases slow per level. That's pretty good. And then decrease the cooldown. This is fine. This is a good buff. It makes his CC a little more relevant, especially as a Guardian, and then makes him be able to throw it a little faster. This is much better. I think this will make Kuzenbo feel a little more productive. Kumbhakarna, his passive, instead of, it's going to be 2 minutes, which much faster. Appreciate that. And then his ability on his 2 now cripples instead of roots. That's a pretty big buff. See, this is the right way to buff a support, or buff somebody who, you know, doesn't need any more damage. Kumba already does a fuck ton of damage, especially for a Guardian. Him being able to just now have a little bit of a better CC is much better. That's a huge buff, although being objectively small. It's good. Good buff. Good change. MILF. Morgan Le Fay. Increased her 3 by 10% on scaling. Not bad. Makes it a little harder. And then, well, as the time goes on, not in the early game. As time goes on, it'll hit a little bit harder. And then her ultimate, the power scaling per mark consumed, is up by 3%. That's pretty solid as well, because it is kind of tricky to get all the marks on people consistently, considering the fact that you have to hit people as well as you have to hit them with each ability and then ult within the timely manner before it goes away, because I think the stacks only last like 15 seconds, so it's pretty hard to do that. So it kind of makes it better if you have less stacks on somebody, less symbols. Nike buff. Increase the base damage of her leap by 15 per level, it looks. Yeah, 15 per level. Fine. And then decrease the cooldown of her ultimate by 10 seconds. So it's a minute and a half instead of a minute and 40. Small buffs, but Nike is not too bad. Decent changes. Ola Run. Out of all of the things you could do to Ola Run, the worst magical ADC in the game, the only thing that you do is increase his passive by 0.2%. I mean, he has one of the strongest ultimates in the game if used properly. But, God, this character is just so unsafe and so hard to play properly. It's just not even worth it. Wow. But, something is better than nothing. At least it has been attempted. Serket buff. Serket needs a kit change. But, again, we're just buffing her. It's fine, though. Her kit is okay, and it just needs to be buffed. Increased madness duration. Just to a flat 1.4 seconds at all ranks. I don't think this really does too much, except for like the early game, which is one of her weakest. And then decrease the cooldown of her ambush by 6 seconds. This changes nothing. One of the biggest problems that Serket has is that she has one of the worst clears. She has one of the worst clears in the game for jungles. So she can't clear properly, which makes her have a really hard time rotating. And they didn't buff any of her damage. So they buffed her CC and her cooldown on her 3. Neither one of those things will provide her better clearing for any camp or damage on enemy gods. So these buffs are literally irrelevant to what makes her bad. It doesn't make any sense. Whoever put these buffs through need to learn how to play Serket and really sit down and understand what the hell is the issue with her in these past couple metas of what makes her bad. She can't clear worth shit. Once the speed buff gets stolen from her, she is really bad. Considering that now that there are 4 speed buffs on the map instead of 2, so there's 2 on your own side, means that she might always have a speed buff, but there's still more camps that need to be cleared. She can't clear very well in the early game, so there's no damage increase coming out, as well as one of her most potent damaging abilities is one of her getaways. And then having ambush be able to have a little bit more time to come up so she could use it to get away is a little better, but this just doesn't do anything at all. Either way, let's go on to Scotty. Scotty buff. Decrease the time it takes for Calder to regenerate health. So 1 HP per 5 seconds. So now it's 1 HP every 4 seconds. Okay. And gets Coulter's health up a little bit faster. That's fine. Decrease the cooldown of her 1 by 2 seconds. That's pretty solid, especially for a hunter that is very ability based. And then for her ultimate, additional damage per hit, 45, 85, 125, 165, 205, plus 25% on both Coulter, her and Coulter's sandstorms, and then decrease damage per tick. A little bit, okay. These numbers got me all confused. Okay, but anyways, overall damage increased. So it's a small damage increase. But so it's more of a burst than a tick. So initial hit does the highest amount of damage, which is better. So now it has damage on the initial hit instead of just the tick damage. So when you throw the ult and it hits the target, that's where the big burst is coming from, and the tick is a little bit weaker. So overall, this is better for just completely blowing up one person. Something that she's really good at doing. So this is how you actually buff a character. This is how you do not buff a character. Sir Sobek is 3. Decrease the damage by 10. Okay, fine. Sobek is one of the only Guardians in the game that the damage is the most irrelevant part of him. He has some of the highest CC and control in the entire game. Him doing more damage is always a plus, but not really needed. But it's fine. And then his ultimate, the slow increase per level. Instead of it being 25, it starts at 30, going up to 40. That's crazy. So it's just a big buff to his ultimate. So more CC, which is what he's good at. And then more protection by 5% while he's under there. Which again is really good, which means that he can lurk a little bit more. Pretty solid. These are good changes. Good Sobek changes. Vamana. The healing over time has been removed from this ability. Why? So you're adding a lifesteal instead. You're just making this worse. Holy shit, I didn't realize. And they're saying that this is a Vamana buff? This is not a Vamana buff. This is a nerf. Because either way, before, with the way his ult is currently, if you ult and they pop Ankh, you can just walk away and then Ankh is down. The enemy Ankh is down, and your ult's down, and that's it. But before, if you can bait it, you can literally just like run in with your abilities, deal some damage, run away, ult, heal up with your ult behind everybody, to just kind of use your ult as a healing way, like the way to heal, and then come back full health with them still having the Ankh and no real way for them to use it. Now, you can only heal when you're hitting somebody, which means the whole backpedaling to ult is completely irrelevant. So this is just a huge nerf. But I guess it's a buff for people who just don't know how to fight Vamana. But it's a nerf to people who know how to fight Vamana. That's just, The shield is good, though. A little bit of a buff on the shield that he gets. That's better. But I'm not a fan. Not a fan at all. And then Darkest of Nights, Shibalanke ult. This ability now provides Shibalanke with attack speed while this is active. That's pretty good. That's a good change. I like that a lot. So, I mean, it doesn't really have much benefit, especially towards the later game, because you'll already have like good amount of attack speed where you're not getting anything out of this. But in the early game, it will help out. The late game, literally like 60% at level 20, will be probably the most irrelevant buff in the entire game, because depending on how meta builds are, you will most likely already have almost max attack speed to begin with. That even like 20% attack speed, 20% bonus will give you the max. So either way, it's fine. Not a bad change though. And then what is this? NPC? I don't know what word that is. Scaling, so they get They get movement speed every 3 minutes. This is the Scorpion on the duo lane. Gold reward, the health. Then scales every 3 minutes. This looks like the same. No, it's a little bit different for the solo lane. It's a little bit harder to kill for the solo lane, it looks like. Or easier. Yeah, a little bit easier to kill for the solo lane. The harpies, overall pretty easy. Yeah, so all these, they're just like all the type of big number changes for all the buffs. It, honestly, this stuff that the nitty gritty stuff that I don't give a shit about. But that's the patch. Pretty good, pretty solid. A lot of good changes. I do wish that certain things were a little bit looked over more. There were a couple of relevant things, a couple really good things. Surtur, the way you read his kit seems pretty fun. Other than his 3 that just looks like a carbon copy of Pele's 3, but we will see. Are they even still doing anything? No, they're still going over the patch notes. They're only on the Hercules and Hunbaths. But either way, that is what it is. That is the patch.